Hi, this is Dan Gray, and today I'm going on a different angle than what my whole page is actually about, an ADHD. But I also like to share something from our personal life and events of this last few weeks. A few years ago, one of my sons was in a plane accident, and he nearly died and was miraculously saved. In fact, his organs already stopped and were shutting down, and I could see life leaving his eyes. Miraculously, he was saved, and today he's living a normal life. But 3 years later, I was diagnosed with post traumatic stress disorder, and the root of that was the accident of my son. When I spoke to the psychologist, she explained to me that you've got to, once your mind have decided that a loved one is going to die and made peace at that very split second, or not made peace, but made that decision, you actually need to go through the same healing process or the same recovering cycle as a person who actually lost a loved one. But because I did not do that, 3 years later, I started to act out of my personality. I became very depressed and had a death wish second to none. And all of this was because I did not get or did not went through the recovering cycles or the process as somebody who has lost a loved one. It's 9 days now since my wife, my child, and myself was robbed and went through a armed robbery. Now in South Africa, if 5 robbers enter your house and some of them are armed, you prepare yourself for the worst. It can be rape, torture, and eventually death. Fortunately, their robbery were interrupted, and it only ended as a robbery, and it fortunately did not went any further than that. But in the aftermath of this incident, we have to deal with the fact that our minds already made that decision that the worst is going to happen. The same as in the case of my son's accident. And that is what we as a family needs to deal with. And it is difficult. I myself have lost motivation. Life is a senseless journey for me at the moment. And as I said, I find it difficult to motivate myself. My wife and my daughter is overcome with anxiety every night. The darkness falls on our house. And it is not easy working through that. And I know a lot of people went through worse and has to deal with worse than that. But that's the point of this whole video. I can easily use this incident to go off a racist tangent, but I don't want to do that. One of my favorite poems is a poem by Richard Kipling called If. And the extract from that just says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds of distance run, yours is the earth and everything in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. And that is one of my mottos in life, is to act differently and try not to lose my head when other people do. If we want a safer country, then we must stop with racism. Because hatred begets hatred, and hatred begets violence. You see, everything is interconnected. This is what the quantum physics are telling us. Explanation of that or illustration of that is something that they call the chaos theory, and in the chaos theory they've got the butterfly effect, which simply explains that there's a tornado in America all because somewhere far away a butterfly flapped its wings, showing the interconnectedness of everything in life. And therefore you cannot spread hatred and not realizing that you are contributing to violence. Because it's a negative energy that you are putting out there. It doesn't go just somewhere and evaporates. Hatred begets racism, and racism begets violence. So if we want a safer country, we'll have to keep our heads and not spread racism over social media, around the braai vleis fires, and in our day-to-day talk. You see, both sides of the racial divide, don't matter which races are involved, it's got value arguments and valid arguments. But you see, I don't get my stance on racism from what I see before me. But I look to the Bible. And my Bible teaches me that God is a righteous and a just person. And He will not create one person less than another. He will create all people equally because He is just and righteous. What happened to us was not because of the skin color of the perpetrators, but because the human mind and the human race is contaminated with sin. There's a negativity within all of us. So I want a safer country for my people. I want a country that all children of all races and all people and all families of all races can feel safe again. And one way, there are many other things that should happen, but I'm only speaking on one aspect today, and that is that we can stop spreading hatred, which results in racism, and then which results in violence. Keep your head when all about you are losing theirs. Fill the 60 minutes of unforgiving heart with a 60 minutes of distant run, as Kipling said. I won't be drawn into racism by irresponsible politicians. I won't be drawn into racism around the fires, the braai vleis fires, and the conversations in our country. Simply because I believe that that's one way where we can start making this country a safer place, is stop spreading the negativity. Because the negativity results in hatred, and the hatred results in racism, and racism in the end results in violence, because everything is interconnected. So this is Dan Gray just asking you and making a plea to those people out there that please let's make this country safer by not getting involved in racist slander or talk. This is Dan Gray saying, be peaceful.